If we line up all of our bad guys, there's a very common thing for these first three films. Dr. No keeps Bond alive. Why? To possibly recruit him into Spectre.
Yeah.
Red Grant and the team keep Bond alive to manipulate him to basically use his abilities to get what they want.
Yeah.
Goldfinger keeps Bond alive because Bond being dead might jeopardize his goals.
You are quite right, Mr. Bond. You are worth more to me alive.
They all keep Bond alive for a clear purpose. 2 times, Goldfinger tries to take Bond out in gnarly f***ing ways. Like, it's not good enough for him to just have Oddjob break his f***ing neck. Instead, it's, I'm going to have this laser cut you in half from the balls up because you stole my girl. And then the second one is, I'm going to straight up obliterate you.
Goodbye, Mr. Bond.
But they probably should have gotten rid of the threat. We got to keep Bond alive so he can report to his superiors. But let's kill him, like, before breakfast.
I think what always gets forgotten is that villains tend to have giant egos.
Yep.
And giant egos lend to, I want to be a showman of what my work has done. And so to just kill your adversary without them seeing you succeed, especially if you're like a psychopath or whatever, you know, that's just it. Like it's icing on the cake. It's like, oh, this guy tried to stop me. He's gonna end up in my trap. You know what I mean?
I'm not being Scott Evil where I go, I got a gun in my room. I'll just go get it and we'll shoot him. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that there's a commonality in these first 3 films, which is they all keep Bond alive for different purposes. And that's interesting, right? Because over time, bad guys no longer keep Bond alive for a purpose. They're just trying to kill him, and then they try to kill him in these overly elaborate and exotic deaths, to quote Dr. Evil.
It's a harmony in the films that they all kind of have this reason to keep Bond in the plot besides just them wasting him as soon as he steps to them at all.
And it allows there to be an interesting relationship between Bond and the villain. Like, they have lots of dialogue, and that's interesting. In this movie, I think more so than the other two.
To Junie's point, Johnny, whatever. Change your
Ginny!
To his point, Charlie, like, I know you love Red Grant, and I love him too. He's great. I would put these 2 films towards the top consistently compared to a lot of the other films we're going to watch. But what to his point is that you have that one great dialogue scene in From Russia with Love towards the end of the film. But I feel like this film has a lot of great dialogue scenes with Goldfinger and Bond. Whether it is their first meeting when he's over the radio and he's like, come on now, Goldfinger, you're going to lose. Or, you know, during the golf match, the laser chair. Like, every single scene that Bond and Goldfinger are in, you are just captivated. It's just incredible to watch just the wordplay against each of them.
The purpose of our 2 previous encounters is now very clear to me. I do not intend to be distracted by another. Good night, Mr. Bond.
Do you expect me to talk?
No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.
And of course, I think Connery does a great job, and the writers do a great job of making Bond a little bit more intelligent, a little more witty than Goldfinger. But I love how, like, you have the one guy who has all the money in the world, and you have the guy who's from just the British Secret Service, and he just so happens to have, like, a supercar and a gun, and he's able to, like, outwit him at every turn.